back. We have been gone for a very long time. It is the Demetra K Show. I am sitting here with Donovan, his heart don't pump no Kool-Aid Sadiq. And a big thank you to Marcus, who is doing all he needs to do behind the scenes to make the message go farther. Also, thank you to Facebook, the Ride or Die audience, who has this conversation with Donovan and I. We've got so much to talk about. Thank you to those on the podcast, Spotify, Spreaker, iHeartRadio, Podbeam, and to YouTube. Eventually, you will see this in its full glory. So those of you guys on Facebook, you are seeing the green screen behind us, but on the video, you'll see the whatever. Listen,
Shaka Zulu.
I never know what Donovan is going to put. I never know what he's going to put on the green screen. I mean, I'm like, you guys remember on Boomerang? What was his name?
His real name was Jeffrey Holder.
Jeffrey Holder. He was in charge of making a commercial. That's Donovan.
Yeah.
So anyway, you guys, let's go ahead and get this party started because we got started a little bit late. So as you guys can see, the topic is Black people are not lazy. But before I get into that, I want to go ahead and talk a little bit about our South Africa trip.
Sure.
We, being Donovan...
Wait. Go ahead. Finish the intro. I got something I want to say.
Okay. Myself, Donovan, and my daughter, we went to South Africa. We left for about 10 days, got back on this last Tuesday. And I will say that it's taken me up until yesterday to recover and get back on America time, if you will, whatever that is. And so I just wanted to talk about that a little bit before we get into the topic. It all kind of goes together if you think about it. But South Africa was what, Donovan? Go ahead and say what you got to say.
No, I'm waiting for you to acknowledge I was in those streets.
I'm getting
okay,
to it.
Go ahead, okay.
I'm getting to it. So anyway, South Africa was amazing. When I say amazing, it was so amazing. And there was so much to talk about, but I just want to say, start off with the flight just really quick. The flight, it took us about 24 hours or so flying. 23 hours to fly, in the air, in the plane. One round of it was 16 hours straight. Wasn't too bad. It wasn't fun either. But anyway, we had a layover in Abu Dhabi going. We didn't get a chance to really stay and do anything there because our layover was kind of in the middle of the night.
At 93 degrees?
Yeah, it was smoking hot in Abu Dhabi. So then anyway, we got to South Africa. And my first impression of when we got there, I was just blown away because in America, Black people are 12, 13, 14% of the population. And all you see, obviously, in Africa, is Black people. White people and everybody else is almost like an anomaly. They're rare. It's oh my gosh, there's a white person.
Right.
It was just so much Blackness. It was just it was amazing. That was my first impression. I was just, my mouth was open, there's Black people everywhere. And the people there are so friendly.
Yes.
I don't care what you've heard about
they
Africans.
Don't like us.
They don't like us.
That's not true.
They are some of the friendliest people wherever we went. Whether it was a bar, a restaurant, you name it. The service was excellent. I mean, it's just do we gotta leave?
Right.
Very awesome. And there's just Black businesses everywhere. And so we can get into a little bit more about South Africa later on in the show. Please ask us anything because it's I couldn't begin to tell you guys everything, but we did quite a bit and met quite a bit of people and things like that. And so
wait, you haven't acknowledged.
Oh God, Donovan was in those streets. When I say Donovan was in the streets, this fool was nightclubbing at the bar 3, 4, 5 in the morning. One night I had to go look for him. My daughter was he said he was coming back in 2.5 hours. I was let's go find him. And as we're outside, he coming back across the street from the bar. Like some old alley cat.
I'm like Thailand.
Yeah, he's like some old alley cat. So Donovan, thoroughly enjoyed himself in the nightlife.
Found myself a local barber around the way.
Found him a local barber he went to twice. I actually think Donovan's wife is in South Africa.
Yes, absolutely.
I don't think his wife is here. I think, yeah, he got a dashiki.
He got my dashiki. I bought in. I didn't sell out. I bought in.
He was telling the people at the airport and customs, I don't want to leave. You know, I told my mama do something to make me stay.
What do I got to do to get arrested?
What do I got to do to get arrested? He did not want to leave. And so anyway, like I said, there's so much to talk about. So please feel free to ask us about our South African trip. I'm going to do a little bit more documentation on it on YouTube when I get some time.
Absolutely.
And so hello to everybody that's tuned in. So let's get to the topic at hand, which is black people are not lazy. And Jatan, you says, I'm just tuning in. Which country did you visit while in South Africa? South Africa, Johannesburg to be exact. That's where we spent all of our time.
Soweto, that's where I spent my time.
Or we went to Soweto too, but yeah, we didn't spend that much time in Soweto.
But when we get to the Africa part, I want to talk about Soweto because there's one thing I think everybody should know, and we'll get to that.
Okay, all right, so don't let me forget. So anyway, black people are not lazy. All right. We are just discouraged. Now, what do I mean by that? So when we were checking out of our Airbnb, which was amazing, by the way, our Airbnb, we had an interesting conversation with the owner of the penthouse, because that's what we got, the penthouse.
Simon.
You know, $400 for 7 days, the penthouse. It was amazing. If you guys haven't seen the pictures. Now, his name was Simon. Simon, a black man, owned 2 other units in the building and seemed very successful. I mean, from what we saw and from what he was telling us, he was very successful. Now, from the conversation, I gathered that he suffered from the false idea that he was an exceptional black. Now, what do I mean by an exceptional black? Dr. Claude Anderson always talks about people thinking they're an exceptional black when they have made it. Like, not me. I'm not like those black people over there who are suffering, who are struggling. So that's kind of the appearance that he gave me anyway. How about you?
You know, he seems like my kind.
Butter biscuits.
Yeah,
butter biscuits. Right. Okay. And so, meaning he thought that because he was well-to-do, that other South Africans should be that way too.
By the bootstraps.
Yeah, that was his attitude. They need to pull themselves up by the bootstraps and all that other stuff. In fact, he thought that the ones that were not in his position were just lazy and needed to stop blaming white people or the apartheid for their misfortunes. That was what he said.
Right, but there was a little truth, and then we'll get to that later.
It's a little truth. A tiny bit of truth, right?
A little bit to it.
Right, so he was just saying that, you know, quit blaming the white man, you know, get up off your butt and work.
And before you continue, I want you guys that are listening really to listen to what Dee is saying, because there's a lot of parallel in what you're going to be telling me.
Right. And so clearly he bought into the false narrative that it's black people's fault for not being successful overall. Right now, this is South Africa, you guys. Okay. Now, I'm not saying that we don't share some of the blame, but for him to say that we were lazy was just pure ignorance and arrogance. Just my opinion. Now, while there, we saw people doing all kinds of things to earn a living. We saw a guy named Frank. If you guys didn't see my pictures that I posted from South Africa, Frank had a stack of books, very tall, and he walked around with them like this, from his arms to his chin, selling the books. He walked, and I saw him like, you know, 3 or 4 days that we were there, walking around selling these books. Now, I didn't buy a book, but I gave him some money anyway, because I didn't want to take back any extra stuff, and I didn't, you know, he didn't have a book that I needed or wanted, so I just gave him some money anyway, right? But he's walking around all throughout, you know, the neighborhood trying to sell these books. And I asked him, I said, well, why don't you have a cart or something? And he felt like, you know, to paraphrase what he was saying, that it would rob him of the hustle. It would make him less hungry. Yes, so he wanted to carry the books, I guess, to remind him, and I swear I'm going to get to every last one of you guys' comments. He wanted to carry the books to remind him of what he needs to do to keep moving. And so I thought, okay, that's really awesome. I wouldn't do it, but big ups to Frank, right? Then I saw what Donovan affectionately calls Mama Zulu.
Mama Zulu.
Mama Zulu, how old do you think Mama Zulu was?
Mama Zulu had to have been in her early 70s.
You think? Yeah, Mama Zulu was probably, and we call her Mama Zulu
60s.
because she was of the Zulu nation, if you will, tribe. And so she was a street vendor. And she was the first person we got to, and she was so sweet and so nice, and you know,
she knew how to hustle.
Yeah, she knew how to hustle. And at the time, I didn't really see anything that I needed. And she's like, "Okay, I have a store upstairs." I'm like, "Word."
And she had a what was that? What were the big trucks over there that everybody likes?
No, I talk about that. She had a Range Rover.
Range Rover around the corner. Mama Zula was doing.
She did have a Range Rover, but you know, she took us to her store upstairs.
Cleaned us out.
But we love. I mean, she was just. This lady was just like a hustler. She was like, "You need to come back."
And she said, "You ain't got no money. There's an A-team over here. I will walk with you."
Right, right. So, you know, hard worker. Who else was there? We have Faith, who was our tour guide, young woman. Our tour guide when we went to see the brewing company, just very knowledgeable and just. I mean, was on her job. Not like a lot of, no shade to young people over here in America.
Oh, she knew beer.
But she was what, 21?
20, yeah. 20.
She was 21, and this girl was not lazy. She wasn't on her phone. She didn't have ask give us a tour. I mean, she knew her job as a private tour inside and out, very attentive. I mean, it was just...
And when things weren't working, she was very professional.
Yeah, very professional.
And
to the point of, you know, that she impressed Donovan, that where he, you know, when she sends him the information, is going to entertain sponsoring her sister to go to school. That's how impressive this young lady was.
Yeah, and you got to understand, in South Africa, education up to the 12th grade is free. After that, post-secondary education, you got to have money. If you don't have money, you don't go.
And then there's a whole host of fruit vendors. You know, like in California, especially, we see a lot of Hispanics selling fruit. But, I mean, there's fruit everywhere.
Yes.
People were hustling and selling fruit everywhere. We saw people, I mean, these big, giant containers full of recyclables that these people were collecting throughout the day, and they didn't have a truck.
Didn't have a mule either.
They didn't have a mule. They were pulling these big, giant containers on, what was it, like a dolly or something?
Yeah, a big...
Like, the one guy, I took a picture of it, the guy had a rope over his back, and he's walking to the I don't even know how far the recycling area was.
And the lady said they probably do that twice a day.
Yeah, twice a day.
There and back.
Hustling.
Recycling.
Right? And who else do we see?
Before you forgot, and I need to write it down in your notes, but there was a young lady, and she's one of the first people I met there, and we were asking about the xenophobia. She was telling me everything that was going on. She was an R&B artist selling her CDs.
Yeah, we bought a CD.
And started singing for us right there.
Right on the spot. Right. And so, and I met Kentani. He's an IT specialist. So there's a whole, I could go on and on and on
a lot of educated people there.
Of all the people we met, from, you know, very educated to people who are pulling recyclables all day. And so those people were not lazy.
I have to give a shout out to Sweet Potato.
Sweet Potato. Who's
hustling.
He's a street vendor as well.
From Malawi.
From Malawi. And so we hear the same thing being said about black people in America. You know, that we are lazy. We need to pull ourselves up by the bootstraps. Well, black people built America, right? Enough said.
That's a fact. Nobody can dispute that.
Enough said about that. So you can't be lazy and do that, right? Now, also, we are the most resilient people to ever walk the planet Earth. For a lack of better words, we are survivors.
We're still here.
The things that have gone on with black people from slavery, Jim Crow, until present day would have probably wiped out everybody else. Okay?
Yeah.
I don't know
Indians,
for sure.
The Native Indians.
Right.
Most of them have been wiped out.
Would have wiped them out. But we have been here. And they can't be lazy to survive all of that stuff.
Exactly.
Right? Now, as I mentioned to Simon, the guy who owned the Airbnb, we should really do our best to educate ourselves about how black people all over the world got into the situations we're in regarding economics, physically, mentally, and spiritually. It's called systemic and institutional racism. Okay? That is defined as a form of racism expressed in the practice of social and political institutions. It is reflected in disparities regarding wealth, income, criminal justice or injustice, if you will, employment, housing, healthcare, political power, and education, among other factors. When we did build something, now check this out, when we did build something, it was destroyed by white supremacy or white people. It's just a fact, okay? Most of us have heard of Black Wall Street, Rosewood, the many lynchings of businessmen during Jim Crow. How about Marcus Garvey, Stephen Biko, Nelson Mandela, Malcolm, and I even put Nipsey Hussle in there.
Yep.
Because I don't care what nobody says. I believe that was a hit. I believe that was a conspiracy, but that's a whole other topic. Okay, so when we as a people have seen the aforementioned take place, we sometimes get discouraged. We think, why bother? Right? How about I'll just say, this is what we also say, I'll just stay off the radar and do something safe, like be non-threatening to white supremacy, right? I don't want to, give me the butter biscuits. I'm just going to go live a life less ordinary so I don't threaten the, institution of white supremacy. As history has shown, whenever black people got going in the right direction of self-sufficiency, white supremacy put up roadblocks. It's just a fact.
Laws, redlining.
All of that. So from this point forward, we need to stop saying that we are lazy and start realizing that we are more so discouraged. We also need to figure out a way to be encouraged so that we can get on about the business of being great. Now, how do we do that? So let me get to you guys' comments. Donovan, you got something to say?
Yes. In regards to sweet potato.
Sweet potato.
No. Sweet potato is really sweet on Dee and her daughter, so brought some stuff from her. But when it comes to, I just want to say about like Soweto. You guys have really got to go there and see.
You want to get on here?
No, I'm good.
Oh.
You guys really have to go on there and see what's actually going on. I mean, if I wasn't already in a retirement mode, this would get me on my, hustle, because these people, hustle to them is survival. When we were in Soweto, we stopped. Old girl, that was probably her buddies or something, and these guys started to dance for us. And some of you guys are on the Facebook. It's on my Facebook. I put a clip of it, and Dee put a clip of it as well. These guys got, that's how they get some dollars. And of course, me and Dee and I being the only black people on the tour at that time, notice we were the only one that tipped.
Right.
So if you guys go to these countries, please, it isn't a lot of money, but these guys, everything was a hustle to them. Everything was like, let me get it.
Everybody who didn't have a job like in a restaurant
job, right,
or something like that. Now we spent, what was the name of the district we were in? It's
Fashion District.
It was the Fashion District. So it was really urban. It had nightclubs and restaurants and stuff everywhere. But there were also parts of town that were not as nice, I guess, if you will. But then we went to a different part of town that was really nice, where they had the nice shiny malls and the stores.
Where all the Westerners go.
We didn't spend any money there because we were like, you know what? We're not going to give, because we can do that in America. We can go to any mall or whatever. We want to give as much money as possible to the people in the trenches who are trying to earn a living every day. The very people who, when we step outside of this apartment building, are going to be there trying to sell something, to make something. And so,
and I'm going to give you guys a quick travel advice. Do not go there being afraid. Okay,
right.
I was in those streets, and let me tell you something. If I can, we have things like the 5th Ward, the 9th Ward, Compton, I don't know what parts of New York, whatever. If you know not to go there and you're cognizant, you shouldn't be afraid. It's the same thing over there. A lot of parallels. What goes over there happens over here, and the poverty is very stark.
And I would say that too. Good point, Donovan. That especially when we went over there. Before we went over there, we heard about all the xenophobia. Now, admittedly, there was like 2 murders down the street from where we were.
Two blocks over.
But we spoke to a lot of people, and they're like, just the other day there was a big riot. They were busting windows and stuff. Mm-hmm. But they were mad because they call it xenophobia, but they're saying it wasn't really xenophobia. They're just mad that other people being the Nigerians, the Ethiopians, and the Palestinians, and Zimbabweans, however you say it, are coming over there. And they're saying they're not just opening up businesses, they're doing stuff like illegal drug trades and, murders and just bringing in the bad stuff.
Sounds like what's happening here on the West Coast with the Mexicans.
This is just what we said from a lot of people, but, we were kind of apprehensive a little bit when we went, but when we got to walking around and stuff, listen, we saw white women.
That's the key.
When
you see white women walking around in a bad neighborhood.
By themselves. They weren't clutching their purses or nothing. And me and Donna was like, wait a damn minute. Why we got to be scared?
Right. Have my passport up in the front, my wallet, you know, and I'm thinking.
Becky walking around here footloose and fancy free, and we supposed to be scared? Hell no. This is our people's. Right? So, you know, don't be scared. It's just like they hear about stuff over here, you know.
And they're going to point you out that you're not an American, you know, you're not from their thing, and that's fine.
Right.
But be yourself, be cognizant. Like I said, if you go to Compton, have you ever been down there? Just respect the people and they'll respect you back.
Right. All right, so let's get to these comments. And so Tay says, hello, black people, what's happening? And Romel says, West Side.
Yeah, I'm taking Tay on my next trip. We're going to go to Hawaii.
All right. And Romel says, Donovan in the back, who banging all the time, all the time. And then Marcus put up the link if you want to join the conversation and we're not friends. And Charlie says, sounds much better now. Thank you. Yes. It was Donovan.
Yeah. Yeah, that Trump phone idea was just
it's not. This is my baby. I'm gonna have to put it to rest anyway.
Yeah, upgrade it. Wait, is that a flip phone?
No. Okay. I wish it was a flip phone. I wouldn't have no internet, no social media, nothing.
Right.
Nothing. And so okay, and Jatan, yes, so it was South Africa. Mm-hmm. And then Tay says, I know a few. And then Terrence, what's happening, says, this is how I felt in the Caribbean. I felt at home, found a wife, wow, and married there. And my wife and I talk about going to Africa.
Go. Please go to Africa.
Everybody should go to Africa.
One time.
At least one time, go to Africa.
That one cruise you're going to go on, forego it for 1 year and go to Africa.
Go to Africa. I mean, you know, because Donovan was like, where do you want to go next year? I said Africa.
Africa. And look how many countries are in Africa.
Yeah, there's so much to see. Right. I don't want to go to Europe.
Right.
I mean, I'm just keeping it real. I want to go back to Africa, right?
I know I do.
Thank you, Patricia. She says, welcome back. And hello to everybody on here. He says, I do too about Nipsey. Yeah, I believe that was a hit. I mean, the brother was just on the up and up, doing great things for his community and black people.
Anybody that does that, they turn into an accident. Right,
and that's why we get discouraged. We get discouraged because we see people who are, you know, trying to do great things, and then all of a sudden they die or something, or a tragedy or something. And so it's like, we know J. Edgar Hoover said that, you know, the biggest threat to America was black unity.
Unity and the rise of a black
Messiah. The rise of a black Messiah. And so we've seen that being halted in every direction. And so that causes us, I think, to get discouraged and just say, you know what, I'm good. I'm good. I'm just going to stay here in the comfort zone so white people don't mess with me, right? Mm-hmm. And not all white people, I'll just say white supremacy. Mm-hmm. Hey Samuel, assalamu alaikum, wa alaikum salam to you as well. And Al says, laziness for black people is resting before you get tired. You know what? But
yes, in the extreme form.
We hear that a lot.
But it's not true. That's the whole thing.
Well, it's not true. Yeah. We hear that a lot about black people. You know, black people are lazy. We don't want.
I am going to say this
for
myself. I am going to say this as a native-born black American here. Compared to what I saw those people do, we are lazy.
Yeah, I mean,
you know what I mean? And I don't mean it to be negative.
No, no negativity taken. I mean, I totally get what Donovan is saying. You know, like they don't have any they got some social programs over there. Like they give them houses, but they got to go through a lot of stuff. They got to be homeless, and then they have what we went through, what they call in Soweto, the shanty towns, where these houses are made out of aluminum with cardboard. And cardboard. I mean, just, you guys can think of what aluminum and a cardboard house looked like. That was it, no running water.
Okay, it's kind of like this garage. Picture this garage
but
smaller, with 12 people in it.
Yes, it was like, you know, from what they were telling us, we didn't see inside a lot of them, or any of them at all. But they said that it could be up to 12 people in some of these houses. No running water. Was it no electricity?
No electricity. I guess they have to tap into the
they tap into the municipal power
lines.
Power lines to get electricity.
Which is dangerous.
And so, and then they can get a house if that house floods.
Right.
Because if it rains, sometimes it gets flooded.
Yeah. People will put a shanty right near the river.
Yeah.
So that they can get they can go to the front of the line.
Yeah. So if the house floods, then the government will give them a house, and I guess they get to sign a lease for 99 years. And a lot of those people, which we saw a lot of this too, would turn the houses into businesses.
Yes.
Instead of saying, okay, this isn't our house, but it's a business too. I can't tell you how many times we saw people doing hair. They didn't even have a business. They were just on the street doing hair. Even barbershops, I guess they tapped into the electricity somewhere, but they had like a tent or something up where you can, as we're driving by, because we took a tour
You got
bus.
the battery.
Yeah, you see people, doing barbering work right there on the street. And so I'm like, you ain't gonna tell me that we're not industrious people.
Or remember in Soweto, we're down there. Just because you're on the street that Mandela or Desmond Tutu lived on, people are turning their homes into B&Bs so you can be closer to the action.
Yes.
And
And so the street that Mandela and Desmond Tutu lived on, Desmond Tutu, why is she calling me? Desmond Tutu does not live there anymore. He lives somewhere else.
He lives in Cape Town.
But his house was like almost directly
down the corner.
Yeah, like a corner from Mandela's house. So they call it the Mandela House. And on this street is just so much activity. There's vendors, there's people dancing, there's people
people
singing.
have turned it into a tourism area.
Yes, it's a tourist area. And to his point, people have turned their homes that were next to, and I guess this is considered like the Beverly Hills of Soweto. And no shade to them, but it was like an average neighborhood to me.
Yeah.
It looked like an average neighborhood, but these people turned their houses into Airbnbs so that people could rent the houses and be close to the action.
Right. If you happen to get drunk, partying down there, whatever you're doing, you can just lay up in there and do what you got to do.
Yep. And so let's see here. And Patricia says, I want to go where the local artist that made that mural. So that was, oh gosh, what was his name? I wrote it down.
Like where you guys taking those pictures and stuff?
Yeah, the guy that wanted to take a picture with me.
Yeah, that was Maria.
Snow Ribeiro. That's his name, Snow Ribeiro.
And Sweet Potato wasn't too far from him.
Yeah, sweet. Why do you keep bringing up Sweet Potato?
And that guy was funny, though. He was funny. They call me Sweet Potato.
Yeah, Sweet Potato. So, yes, his name was Snow. That's the artist's name, Snow. And he had stuff all over. We didn't know it was his stuff. We're taking pictures in front of the stuff. And as we're walking down the street, it was the day where all the vendors were. He was selling pictures and stuff. He stopped and we talked and stuff. And he says, can I take a picture with you by one of my murals?
And they had no idea that was you guys had no idea that was the artist.
Didn't have any idea. I was like, yeah, sure. So very talented individual. I mean, those people, gosh, I want to go back. I don't want to fly. I don't want to teleport.
Yeah, you want to teleport.
I want to teleport, but I want to go back.
Yeah.
Hey, Jonelle. Thank you. He says, welcome home.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. I'm going to tell you guys, it is an eye-opening experience. I cannot stress enough to go back to Africa, and you're going to have a doppelganger there. We saw your mom there.
Saw my mom, Mama Zulu. She reminded me of my mama.
The mannerisms,
yes,
the shaking.
Everything. Oh, wait, okay. Let me tell y'all something about this nut over here, okay?
What, all the hair hats I saw? And they're wearing hair hats.
You would have thought that Donovan has never saw a big butt. No, let me tell y'all something. These women over there in South Africa, and man,
even the skinny girls. I think it's an evolutionary thing.
It got to be something like it has something to do with the climate or the environment. But I did not see, not even to be a pervert or nothing, but I didn't see one flat booty.
Unless they were European.
Unless they were European, I didn't see one flat booty.
Wait, we were in the Seychelles and you saw your girl with the
No, that was your girl.
Thumb.
That was Donovan's girl. We was in the Seychelles. My chair's falling. We was in the Seychelles, and Donovan ended up in a conversation with a snow bunny. You know what? That ain't the first time a white woman came up to you. It's South African. Y'all was walking down the street, hand in hand, talking about, come back to my place, darling.
Yeah. Well, what it was, the money was good. She was offering some money, so.
It was some old ones too, boy. They was trying to get that dark meat. It's like, you're not from around here. And so, Tay, you say, how was the flight there? Flight wasn't too bad.
They fed you, they stuffed you to death.
We ate so much food on that plane.
All the wine you want, beer, whatever.
All the alcohol you want.
And strong alcohol.
It was strong. I couldn't even drink it. I drank the first drink. I ain't gonna lie, I did. I drank the first drink because I was like, let me just try to go to sleep or something. But they, like, it seemed like in 5 minutes, they was not no peanuts, Tay. They wasn't bringing you no peanuts. This was full meals. I don't never want to eat rice again, though. Because it was just rice, and, I had the vegetarian stuff, but what did you have?
I had everything. Chicken, this.
Yeah, chicken, beef. I'm talking about some good stuff, too.
Yeah.
And like I said, it wasn't,
it was
peanuts and pretzels and a little bitty soda. It was, whatever you wanted.
Now, wait, let me paint a picture for you guys. Close your eyes. We're getting ready to leave. I go off, or I'm about to go off, on the flight attendant, tell me some bullshit about I can't take pictures in the plane. It's their rules, whatever, in the United States. Okay, remember that, because we're going to get to Dee's part when we get to the Seychelles. Continue. Wait till you guys hear what happened to Dee in the Seychelles.
All right. Al says some black women are so lazy they think a two-income family is when their daddy has two jobs. You know what?
Exactly. I mean, we had an adventure. Dee, would you say we had an adventure?
We had an adventure. I was just, everybody takes a pilgrimage to Africa. You got to go.
And it's important who you go with.
Yes.
Yeah, because if you got, people that are kind of, I know if you haven't been there, you're kind of scared, whatever. But, once you get acclimated and you get out and about, I mean, it's really fun.
It was really cool. And Jonelle says 100% beautiful. Enjoyed the pictures and the videos were truly a great. We are truly a great rich people. Yes, we
absolutely
are.
We dispelled a lot of rumors.
Yes. I'm like, that's what people get for just, like, we really just not believe the hype about us. Just awesome people.
Everybody wanted to come to Los Angeles or New York.
Yeah, everybody wanted to come to California. For, they say, where are you from? I'm from California. Oh, I want to go there. I always want to go there. So it's like, yeah, come on down,
But then we had to kick the rail. They go like, oh yeah, the homeless over here, we got a homeless problem. So do we.
Yeah, we're not, But you know what though? Their homeless problem is probably worse than ours.
Yeah,
I would say the homeless problem is worse.
Right, but but my thing is the parallel. Yeah, they're on a worser level, but it's everywhere. The homeless, the job situations.
Yeah, it's just wow.
All this, the stuff that's going on, and for us to describe it for you guys or to see it on Facebook, that's one thing. Again, you have to go for yourself.
You gotta go. Like, you can go anywhere in the world. As black people, we should really be trying to go to Africa. I'm
dream come true.
48.
Right.
And it take me this long to get there. Better late than never, I guess. But I will be going back. I will say that.
I will say this in my own defense. No matter how much of a fool I acted out there, I know that Deanna had my back.
Oh, yeah. Donovan was, let me tell you, lived there, but it was everyday life for them. So that's what I wanted to show you guys. And I, more than anything, was more interested in the people than I was the stuff, if that makes any sense. And Jonelle, you says, you all can truly see why our unity is feared and they steer us towards Europe and other places.
Yeah.
Like, why? I don't want to go see no London Fog. Big Ben. No, I don't want to see those at all. I'm sure it's very lovely. I don't want to eat no spaghetti and what they eat in Italy. I don't want to do none of that.
You got to bring your own salt and pepper.
My Lowry's, right? Ooh, that's one thing we didn't have to do.
Yes.
We didn't have to worry about no seasoning. Oh my God.
Gosh,
the food was just, I'm a vegan. I know you can't tell right now, but I'm a vegan. And everything I ate was spectacular. Did not lack no seasoning, no nothing.
Exactly.
I didn't have nothing nasty over there.
Exactly. The fruit, you guys were eating all the fruit.
Yeah, I mean, everything was fresh.
I mean, they're lying to us, folks.
Yeah.
Africa is...
And guess what? We even drank the water.
Yep, right out of the tap. At least I did.
Well, I didn't drink the water out of the tap. I don't drink the water out of the tap at home, but it was, they said, I forget where the water was from, but it was considered tap water. Now, where it came from, I don't know.
Johannesburg has, it's a mining town. There's no water there. So they have the same problem in Southern California. They have to aqueduct it
to bring it in.
But travel tip, whenever you're somewhere and you're worried about infestations and stuff, spice up your food as much as possible. Hot sauce, whatever, and that'll give you a chance
Right.
to kill parasites.
And Pam, what's happening? Says, I'm glad you both had a good time in South Africa. I'm also sure your daughter had a great time too. Yes, she did.
Yes, she did.
She had a great time.
Looking for me.
Yeah, she was looking for Donovan. She says, he's supposed to be back. We thought he got snatched up into a harem or something.
Yeah, there was a couple times I took the key and left y'all.
Oh, we know. We was knocked out though. Knocked out. And Patricia's laughing. Arson says, it's true that it's a good idea, but I agree with Donovan that nothing gets done when it's a group thing. Yeah, because you try, where are we going to eat today?
This person doesn't like this. That person don't like that.
My feet, my bunions hurt.
Right.
Y'all walking too fast. And all, so, I mean, we had little kinks in the chain here and there. Donovan tried to walk us through Beirut. This fool tried to walk us through.
Okay, who would agree with me? When you go somewhere, you want to get a lay of the land to see where you're
at.
Right?
You ain't trying to get a lay of that kind of land.
And it's early in the morning.
I
said, let's just go walk this way. And we had Deanna. What was there to worry about?
This dude was trying to walk us through Beirut. Okay.
Wait. A couple of days later, how many people in Beirut knew who I was?
Right.
Right. Hey, Donovan, what's up, man? I mean, the Duke of Edgemont.
The fool of Edgemont, okay?
Got recognized.
The fool. And Alex says, so all black people are not lazy, but after Donovan's problem on the plane, is it safe to say black people can't be more controversial than lazy? Controversial?
Wait, we haven't got to her part yet. Keep that thought. Keep that thought.
And Patricia says, I want to go for years. Just go.
Just go. Stop talking about it. Go.
Yeah, that's the best thing I can say. A lot of times we think about, it's the money, this, just go. Sometimes we just got to just jump
14 and a half rand to the dollar. So if you go for, so it's almost, let's say, what, a third. 2/3 of your dollar is more over there.
Right.
So you got 200 bucks.
Oh yeah, your money, like we ate sometimes 12, 13, 14, 15 bucks together. Mm-hmm. And we got a lot of food. It wasn't just like no, French fry, no hamburger.
Remember that steak on the way out?
Oh man.
Oh my God, that was a good steak.
Wait, that steak was, Donovan had a steak on the way out and this fool was chewing the fat.
Yes. I wanted to put that steak in my pocket and take it with me for later.
I was like, damn, was it that good?
It was that good.
And Tay says, I went to a predominantly white church and they go to Kenya every year. It's always a cringe. It's always a cringe to see them post pictures with the kids and talk about building wells. It's like, yeah, I hate to see that too. It's like you going over there for opportunity. What is it? A photo op.
Yeah, photo op.
A photo op.
Look what I'm doing. I feel good about myself.
And they ain't really on the colonizer like that.
Right.
They're not, And Arcia says, I don't mind going to Europe except but never until I have been the first. I'm trying to read your comment. I think you're saying you've never been to Europe except you've never until I have. Oh, so you want to go to Europe, but until you go to Africa first. Got it? That makes sense to me. Go to Africa first. Go give our money some people.
Yeah.
Europeans got a lot of money. They don't need no more of our money, right?
Do you know what was sickening to me? The white people who were living in mansions in these really nice modern apartments, they didn't think there was nothing wrong.
At all. I mean, the line of demarcation from the poverty to the wealth was just overwhelming is what I would say. It was just unbelievable how, like, South Africa is 90% black, 10% white. They own roughly 82% of the wealth. They being white people own 80-something% of the wealth. And so you can see the big difference between the poverty and the wealthy. And to Donovan's point, they're walking around like,
they were bike riding.
Yeah, just having a gay old time all in South Africa while, our people were struggling. To me, that was very disheartening, and it pissed me off. I was mad a lot on the tour.
Yeah, she was.
I was really mad, like, this is just, ugh.
Yeah.
So Jonelle, he says, highlight the beauty of Africa. It's about 50 countries or more in Africa. Beautiful cities, people, animals, and places, etc. Yeah, why do we need to go anywhere else?
It's not like Roots. It's not like you know, the National Geographic.
Right, you know, show people running through. Then Donovan had a friend that asked him where the jungle's at. Where the jungles?
Where the jungles?
He was white, huh?
Yeah.
He was white, asking him where the jungle's at. You should have told him and dropped him off in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, I told him in the swamp in Louisiana.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
And Al says, were the DJs on point?
Yes.
I don't know, because
Yes.
I didn't do nightlife like Donovan.
Yes, the DJ was on point. And if you saw some of my videos, some of those girls that were dancing,
woo! I was like, Donovan, you gonna get me too'd out here and keep on, okay? You gonna get gaffled up.
We got 30 seconds.
Oh, so we got 30 seconds on the podcast. You guys will be back for the second half, so stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
And then Jonelle says, friends in all walks of life, Donovan, that's what's up.
Exactly.
Yeah, you know, we met a lot of people over there. We made a lot of connections, met a lot of people. And Tay says Mia is watching. That's my great niece.
Right.
She's laughing when you laugh. Oh, gosh.
Please let the people know, as you guys observed me in my natural environment.
Did y'all see the pictures I put up of this fool in the Seychelles? The Seychelles is
No, I'm talking about when I was at the cafe.
Oh, yeah, Donovan was at the cafe. So Donovan left before we did. Me and my daughter and I was tired. I was asleep. So I got dressed to go out on the town for the night or whatever. And we go into the club that he was going to be at to get some dinner. And we see this fool at a table full of women. He was surrounded by a table full of women. And so my daughter and I made a stage right. We didn't want to, want them to think, that it was your wife or something.
But I was waiting for y'all.
He was waiting for us. So we went and sat at the table and ate and stuff. So like an hour later, he roboting by and stuff. He's like, oh, hey, I didn't know you guys were here. Like, yeah, we saw you getting your Mac on. We didn't want to, as they would say, cock block, so we let you do your thing or whatever. But yes, Donovan was definitely the ladies' man out there. His wife is in South Africa.
Yes. I'm not sweet.
Hopefully ain't no babies there either, is it?
No.
Oh, okay.
Y'all were in the room. I would have brought everybody out. But they don't, my man Sweet Potato, they just call me Potato.
Call you Potato.
Yeah, Potato.
Donovan is in this doggone Sweet Potato. He's a street vendor too. Very, all those people very jovial, but yeah, Sweet Potato. Yes. And Arson says, I apologize about my comment. No worries. Earlier, I accidentally pressed on send. I'm sorry. No worries. So if you guys were to visit Africa again, would you go to the same country again? I like South Africa.
Yeah. I would make it a jumping off point. I definitely would go there, spend a couple of days, and then from there go to the neighboring countries. Yeah,
go to the neighboring ones. Ghana. There's, like you said, there's 50 plus countries. Hell, I don't see the need to go nowhere else. And then another thing I would say too is Donovan and I and my daughter, we made it a good point to, obviously we're there with a bunch of black people, buy black.
Yep.
The Airbnb was black owned, very nice. We made it a point to do that. And just spend as much money with black people, not like the big time shops. We're talking about the people who were in the trenches. Spend money with them. And I think we did a really good job.
Yeah, because my barber was like, when I first walked in there, he was like, what the hell are you doing in here?
Yeah, because the barber was, I would say it was on the cusp of Beirut.
Yeah.
I call it Beirut because it was
a rough neighborhood.
It was a rough neighborhood. No disrespect, but it was really rough. I got kind of nervous a little bit, because as we were walking down that street, you saw windows with busted out, kicked in, and things like that. 2 people had been killed there, so it was a little unnerving side, but we got used to it. But yeah, so the barber that Donovan went to, I would say it was like a little hole in the wall, a little hole in the wall. And Donovan went, got his dome polished up. And then,
keyword there, Sydney, for that's what Sydney.
Yeah.
I guess they were looking at me like, what are you doing here? You ain't got no hair in your head. I said, just do it anyway.
Yeah, and then he went back. So, it was a good experience all around, just spending with black people there. And so Patricia says, what about Sudan?
Well, the Sudan, I'm not saying don't go, but you gotta remember the Sudan is mostly desert. They do have major...
My way to the aisle, opened up the thing, and I snatched my suitcase down, and they're like, oh my God, be careful! And I was like, you be careful. And I told my daughter, let's go. And I was like, we was doing fine. We was doing issue is over here, because they were coming from South Africa and they were going to the Seychelles. I said, I see what the issue is. They have this false sense of entitlement, but you know what? Guess what? I ain't from over here. I'm from over there.
Right.
I'm from over there, and I don't bow down to that false idea of white supremacy.
Right. And what a lot of people got to understand, when you travel overseas, these people are aggressive because they're so used to being disadvantaged, so that they'll step over you just to get a potato.
No, they're not. They're not. We ain't talking about the people who are disadvantaged. We're talking about the people who are used to treating black people, especially the Africans, any kind of way. We had an Indian lady who almost got the business. My God, she was between me and my daughter, and she kept pushing my daughter. And so when my daughter was getting ready to put her thing up, she gonna move past her. But mind you, this lady held up the whole aisle.
Yep.
The whole aisle.
Boarding
Everybody behind
process.
was boarding. So when my daughter was putting her suitcase up, she, tried to push past her. I said, "Oh, now you want to push past people? You held up the whole plane." I was like, "Don't push past her."
Right.
Everybody was looking. I'm like, "See, I don't think we gonna make it. You might be staying after all."
After all, and the funny thing is, to end the trip, we're getting our bags. We cleared customs in Abu Dhabi. We're getting our bags, right? Everybody's waiting at the carousel. This guy, was it a guy or girl?
It was a dude.
It was a dude. Asian guy.
Donovan was so mad he don't even know what it was.
He pushes in front of me like I didn't even exist. And I didn't go ballistic, but I had to let him know.
He was that close to going ballistic.
Right, because it was like, dude, I'm a person. I'm standing here. All you gotta do is say, "Excuse me," or whatever. Don't just. It's like that lady, the white lady reached over for the daughter.
Oh yeah,
it's almost the same reaction you get. I just get so tired of these people in my country coming here, running me over.
I thought we was gonna be on a YouTube video or Facebook video, because Donovan and the dude was like, "Oh, I'm sorry, oh, you're right, I'm sorry," but yeah, he was just about to push Donovan out the way, and Donovan was like, "I've had it.
That's it.
I'm done." And because before I was kind of holding it back like Donovan, because my daughter was going there too, because people were just being rude and stuff. LAX, people trying to get their bags. I'm like, you know what, just chalk it up to the game. But when that dude did that, I said, I ain't got nothing to say.
Nothing else to say. I'm in my country.
Handle your business.
I'm in my country. I'm gonna let him have it, and that's what I did. So if you go overseas, be used to pushy people. They're
not pushy people. The people, like the white people, the Indians, the Asians. Yeah. They have no regards for black people, and I'm just one of those people. And Donovan too. You can't do anything to me.
Right.
I'll be detained in wherever I got to be detained before you disrespect me.
Right.
Okay.
And that's what it's about, respect.
Yeah, I was like,
everybody's gonna get their bag.
I'm supposed to sacrifice my comfort for you? That ain't my problem. You about a deuce and a quarter on this plane, and you can't fit on there. That's not my problem. I'm gonna lean back and don't snore too loud in my ear.
And another travel tip: usually international flights aren't full, so they have open seating. Be quick on your job.
Man, yeah, right. And that was another thing too. So if the plane is not full, you can move, man. Those people was on the move. Ooh, you know what? I ain't gonna say now. I was gonna say something about the hygiene, but I'm not gonna do it.
I'll say something. Look, people are funky when the flight attendants have to get the damn aerosol and they spray in the one area of where the funk is coming from. Okay? It ain't like they went, of course they went, they went through the whole plane as a courtesy. But I'm talking about, these people were funky.
Listen, I think it's just a cultural thing.
Yeah, it's a cultural thing.
Shade
but I'm just saying, it was bad.
This flight attendant took a bottle or
concentrate
can of air freshener from the front of the plane all the way to the back. He was and then he came back up.
And
I said, I don't know what it was, but it worked.
Yeah.
Whatever it was, it worked.
And no shade to my Middle Easterners. Like I said, it is a cultural thing. But, damn. damn. I mean, that's, we would be walking, and sometimes it would just hit you. Bam. And you just couldn't help.
Okay.
We had so much fun.
And Al says black people would never go to Africa because we focus more on taking a cruise multiple times.
Yeah.
I mean,
sad. And we're not learning anything.
I mean, unless you're cruising back to Africa, but that might feel like the middle passage a little too much. I don't know if you want to do that. But no, I'm just kidding. And so Jonelle says, we know the whites. Yeah, I mean, it was wild then.
We were going through customs. I thought I was looking for a weave to fly, but you know, D doesn't wear no weave, so.
I was like the caucasity of you talking about move up because I can't.
And then they were cackling half of the
Oh
flight.
my God! I was like, you know what? But no, I'm not gonna move my seat. Thank you.
Yeah.
And she never said another word to me. And then Tawaka, I hope I said that right. Said, I know that's right. Can you imagine? And Al says, you always seem to have trouble with people when I'm not around.
Well, Al,
I have trouble all the time.
Yeah. When they see a 6'4" dude, I mean,
Right.
problem solved.
Right. And Patricia says, I know that's right regarding the idea of white supremacy. No such thing in my book. They have to say that due to their inadequacy. Absolutely, it is a false idea.
Yes.
And we just, unfortunately, we being everybody else who's not white, we buy into it. And we unfortunately bow down to it. But anybody else who was not on top of their game would be like, oh, yes, is that enough room for you, ma'am?
Yes. And that's what they're used to. That you know, and it's sad because a lot of the Africans that I talk to, they have like a subconscious.
They believe that they are inferior, like we do over here. They believe they're inferior to white people, but it's like, nah, no, ma'am.
Right. Because I noticed the way I was being treated over there when I was talking to the white people was totally different in how they treated the African. You know.
Richard was happy. He said they were funky flies.
Yes. Oh my, dude! I'm talking about. If you were unconscious, that funk was so bad you would have woke up. You know, it's almost like being knocked out and they gotta give you the smelling salts. That's how strong that shit was.
And then I think somebody was passing gas.
Yeah. Oh my God. Remember that white guy? The white guy on the was it the Seychelles flight? That guy was funky. You're like, what is going on here? It was incredible. Yeah. There should be a law that you gotta have some kind of hygiene.
There needs to be some plain rules.
something going on.
And then, when I got off the plane, I was on the flight over there. I got sick, allergies or something. I was jacked up for a minute. I had to go to the drugstore, and it was a mess. I don't know what it was, but maybe it was the funk.
Well, yeah, it was the funk maybe. And like I said, if you're new to international flying, it is a little bit different than going. What the longest flight here in the United States you're going to do is. Continental's like, 6 hours at the most?
Yeah.
Coast to coast.
Right.
And if you go to Hawaii.
Add 10 more hours to that.
Yeah.
10.
Yeah. But it was a big enough plane and stuff.
Man.
A lot of movies.
I watched a lot of movies on it. I must say, I did get entertained.
So.
And let's see. And Arson says, wow, with the way you're telling me you were being treated over there, it's like normal for them to act like you didn't exist. Exactly.
Right.
It shows how you imagine, our imagine needs to be worked on, our image rather, needs to be worked on all over the world.
Yes.
Well, you know what? Our image, I think our image is fine. Because, people often say, well, that's why white people don't like us. Because you don't know people doing this. And white people, I see why they don't like us. That ain't why white people don't like us, okay? Let's just keep it clear. White people, they already have a jacked up image of us already.
Right.
It's not how they see you, it's how you allow them to treat you.
Right.
Now, if we allow them to treat us any old kind of way, they're going to keep doing that. But I guarantee you $1 to a donut, that white lady got to understand in that day, you not going to be nice. Okay? Yes. I wasn't rude to her, but I was like, listen, I talk too much. Now I'm going to have to show you, okay? I'm not, all these other black people. And wasn't she sitting next to a black woman?
No.
She wasn't sitting next to a black woman? I'm not none of these black women that,
No, initially when we boarded the plane, she was.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I'm not none of these people
your friends.
You walk over all day long and stuff in your everyday life. Yeah. But it's just how you let people treat you. When Jonelle says, damn, Patricia says, I don't feel I'm inferior. That's the key. We don't feel we're inferior, then what do we got to worry about?
So then let me go off when I need to go off.
And listen, that was needed because I was tired of Miss Ann's ass. I was tired of her, okay? And she, be careful.
See, and that's the thing with me,
Yeah, they were saying that, what did she get? Black women talk too much. She was probably stealing, and they weren't stealing. Right. In fact, the Arabs ended up getting charged, from what I understand. They got charged for the assault. But it was just, gosh, I was like, black women obviously don't have a chance. Now I get some of it is self-inflicted, you know, brothers going and risking his livelihood, and you know, we, not all of us, but taking ourselves back in there to get our hair and nails done or whatever it is we're doing in there. And so, to me, it just, I don't know what to think, honestly, because I'm mad more than anything that they think. They can not even think. They know.
They know you're not going to be defended.
Yeah, they know that nobody's going to come, and I'm not going to say what should be done, but I just tell y'all this much. Had that been me coming home and telling my father that I was just brutally assaulted, you know, at this, you know, these Arabs' business, my dad would probably be in, not probably, if they catch him, would probably be in jail.
My father-in-law, the business would be burned down.
Would be burned. I mean, I'm just saying, they were just like,
it'd be burned to the ground.
I wouldn't be able to stop him.
Right.
You know, and so I'm sad and I'm mad that they think they can do that and go back and turn the key.
Mm-hmm.
We just royally beat these women's asses,
you know, and
nobody's gonna come do nothing to us.
Yeah, and the funny thing is, these are the most panicky people in the world. Them and Indians.
Well, they didn't seem like they was panicking.
Well, no, because they're on women. But if, you know, like if men were around, they wouldn't have even.
But we
attempted.
but you know, because we've seen videos of them, you know, beating up black men too with bats and all kind of stuff. And my thing is there not one, two? Do we got like any more, Tyrone? Like, I'm not telling nobody to risk their livelihood and nothing like that. But
I am.
Freedom ain't free.
Free, exactly.
It's not free, and so do we got more than one? And I'm speaking just, you know, off the top of my head, but do we not have more than one Tyrone out there?
You saw what I tried to do, and you tapped me down.
Well, you know, I was trying to get my black ass home. Okay, but I mean, do we? Are we done? Are we done for? It's like those dudes should be very afraid.
Right.
Very, very afraid.
To put their hands on the sister.
To put their hands, you know, and then the other part about it is, to where it's kind of pisses me off too, why do we keep going in those stores? Why? And then when you see the story or the video about them getting beat up, then here comes everybody, well, yeah, you know, they sold me some bad food. Yeah, they are rude. They always rude. They always talking to people. Yeah, they always, but you always going back up in there though.
Like when I went to Louisiana, old girl was complaining about the.
But she gonna go back.
You know, they're there.
You know what you going back for? For what? They don't like you. They only like your money. They set up shop in our neighborhoods, drain all the money out. Don't even give us good service. Don't give us good products.
And freeze right there. What did you hear in South Africa?
Same thing.
The same exact.
They said their beef was with the Palestinians too, and we saw a lot of Palestinians set up shop there. Business owners. They have, you know, black people working in the store at the front of the store, but then, you know, they watching the money in the back. And so a lot of South Africans said that their issues with the Palestinians too, that they come in and sell bad and rotten food. But I'm like, well, why are they still in business? You can't sell me rotten food more than once. I'm not going back there, you know. But, and it's like, the other part of it too is, kill their businesses like we kill our own businesses. That'd have been some black people selling some rotten food or something. Oh, I don't go over there now. They selling us rotten sandwiches and they bread is moldy. They be out of business in a week. But those people set up, not only sell us rotten food, they kick our asses, and they still, like, we gotta beg people, don't go in there. And what do they say?
I gotta give me some zigzags.
Yeah, I gotta go. I'm just going in real quick, give me some zigzags.
Real quick.
Are they giving them to you for free?
Right.
You know, we gotta beg our people to stay out of those. I don't get it.
50% off weed.
Yeah, in the one place, I think it was Chicago, somewhere, where the lady got slapped and, you know, punched and choked by the Asian dude, and he put up a 50% off sign, and black women was cussing the brothers out.
Exactly. Oh.
Now tell me what to do.
Oh, and like I said, it's a phenomenon. That's our new word. Because they were selling yaki at the corner store everywhere.
Yes, unfortunately, or fortunately, because I don't wear it.
However you want to look at it.
The weave epidemic has taken over.
Yes.
Not even the weave, but the lace fronts or the wigs
fronts,
or whatever they are. The ones that look like people just...
Yeah, just done.
Set it on top of their head with the part right here, and you know, it's just a hump. Whatever. That's taken over there. So
yeah, and another thing is, if you guys see me in African garb, my African daishiki, and I love it. Don't get me wrong, they have some beautiful clothes over there, beautiful cloth. They're westernized. These people want that younger generation.
They want to be like us.
Yeah,
they want to be like us over here, and I'm like, don't do that.
I mean, they're wearing Nikes. Do not get it twisted, you guys. Whatever you think about Africa, don't believe the hype.
Yeah, they're big on big consumers too.
Yes, big consumers.
Yeah, labels and stuff
all
like that.
Everything got, again, what did I say at the beginning of the show? The parallel. Think about the parallel. So what you think that they don't have, that you have here, no. They have the exact same stuff.
Right.
I mean, I felt like I was in America, but in America with accents.
Right, yeah. And Jonelle says, I want it, it won't stop until we are rooted in self-awareness and self-love, and also until we set up our own love defends what it loves. Yeah. Absolutely. We have got to do that. I mean, there's no way around it. We have got to, like I said, I would rather go, like, I don't have my nails done anyway, but if I was depending on them to do my nails, shit, I'd have some stubs.
Right.
I have some nubs and some stubs. If I got my eyelashes done, I don't. But if I did, they'd be bald. I mean, I'm just saying, I don't want to give them none of my money.
However, I want you guys to look at the flip side of this. If you are thinking about going somewhere to live and take your dollar an extra mile, Africa, somewhere in Africa, might be a way.
Yeah, or set up businesses over there.
Yes.
There's a lot of
opportunity.
Oh my God.
A lot of opportunity over there.
Real estate is dirt cheap over there.
Yeah.
Dirt cheap. Donovan's talking about buying a place and staying like 2-3 months out of the year.
Yeah. And just rotate, rotate myself out of there. But I'm just saying, that's how far your dollar can go. And the thing is, when I was there, D, when we were there, I was so stress-free.
Yeah, I was stress-free too.
I didn't have a job to go to. Yeah, we're Americans. We got, we're on a budget. We're balling on a budget. Whatever. I didn't worry about the money.
Yeah, I wasn't stressed out at all.
I was just eating, doing what I got to do. Just enjoying myself.
Just living life. And Charlie says, would these men beat white women? Hell
no, ain't gonna happen. Ain't gonna happen. That white queen.
You can't even look at a white woman. I watched the interview with Dennis Rodman on the Breakfast Club. And this dude, he's very eccentric, if you will.
Eclectic.
And he cried and cried and cried. And he told the story of when he was, I forget what school he went to.
Yeah, he was eating out of the garbage can.
No, not that. When he finally got adopted, I guess, by the white family. And he said, so he was with the white, the little boy in the family. They went to the gym or somewhere. And he was dating a white girl at the time. So he said they were walking and a group of white men pulled over, put a gun to his head and the little white boy's head, and told Dennis, if we see you with this white girl again, we're going to kill you. And it took him maybe like 2 or 3 minutes to tell the story because he was just crying. And, but before that, he was saying how racism hasn't really affected him. And Charlemagne was like, well, you can't say that racism hasn't really affected you. Look how moved you are by trying to tell the story.
You're traumatized. You're traumatized.
You're traumatized by racism. And so the point that I'm making to even bring that up is you can't even look at they women. You imagine if Becky ran up out of there, ran home and told her pa.
Oh, it's over.
Yeah, and that, they did that to her, man. There'd be nothing you can do to help it. But to our women, it's open season on black women. Now, I know black men got their issues too, so don't get me wrong. But black women...
We're not exempt.
Black women, we better learn to protect ourselves. Until further notice, we better protect ourselves because I was very just discouraged by the comment section on that video feed. We are in trouble because a lot of the black men co-signed it. Shouldn't be talking so much. Black women talk too much.
Well, again, I mean, we put ourselves on the line, and this is what,
But that ain't all black women.
No, not all. But I'm just saying.
No, I get it. I think that's a fair. I think that's a fair rebuttal. We defend you, and then y'all go back up in there. Marcus Garvey said it best. You're gonna have to leave some people behind. You know, and I don't think anybody needs to be choked out, but hey, if they like it, I love it. You know, you hear about your sister getting beat down in the shop, and you gonna go back there because you just trying to get your lashes done.
Right. You know, even though it's only $8, but
I'm just trying to get my lashes done.
But it's just like Phil said. He put a list up of shops, other black-owned shops they can go get their nails done.
The problem is we spend money on high-end stuff with other people, but when it comes to our people, oh no, they too high. I'm gonna go over there to, you know, whoever, because, you know, I can give me some nails for $17.99. Of course you can, because there's more of them. It's not enough of us, so we gotta charge a little bit more to stay in business. But you dumbass, if you would go over there more often, then they can lower their prices.
Here's what I like with what Phil said about that. He said that with this Google thing, you can Google black-owned shops and things that you need everywhere. I mean, it's funny how you can Google where the local pizza shop is, but you can't Google where I need a black-owned business. And you got Facebook groups that show you businesses.
Right, and I mean, we're in one, you know, and turns out there's a lot of black businesses in Riverside County that I had no idea existed. And Jonelle says, we got plenty Tyrones, like we got plenty women who will defend those abused and profit from them, who must be taught self-respect. Women still call themselves B-words, which is evident that some soak in the degradation we must be taught. No, absolutely. And so you're right. Where there's no self-value, no self-worth, no self-esteem, same thing. You just let people do any and everything to you. You don't see the value of, you know, your fellow black man trying to defend your honor. You'll be mad. I mean, I've seen it to where, I can't remember, it was a store in LA. As a matter of fact, that was being boycotted because they, I think they beat up a little boy or something. Asians did. And there's this black woman. All they had to do was wheel out some hot dogs and some sodas. And, you know, black people was flocking in there like they never had a freaking hot dog before. Flocking in there. And so the brothers, the Black Panthers rather, when they were trying to hold the line and tell people to stop going in there, she bucked up on them.
Damn.
She could have been 5 feet. She could have been 5 feet tall, and she bucked up on the brothers. Like, protecting these Asians. You know, and I was like, we are really sick. Like, what kind of hot dog was this? I'm watching it because they were live, and I was shocked. She's like bucking up on these brothers like, you know, she was going to do something to them.
Yep.
Crazy. And then Jonelle says, self-love, self-empowerment, you all went to the motherland, so can't anybody just bring you some BS due to your awareness. Our people need awareness and self-love.
Yes, right.
All day, every day. That's what we need. We need to, because like you said, you will protect what you love.
Yes.
Regardless of what that is. You're going to protect it with everything you have. But when you don't love it, it's like,
Exactly.
I could have had a B8. I don't care, you know. And Winsome, what's happening? He says, you are correct. I have never seen you look so relaxed and happy. So I know you felt at home. I can't wait to go.
Yes, yes. Yes, very good, very good. Go, we gotta go.
I mean, it's just a whole different world. Now, maybe it's because we were new over there.
No, you were new. I was in them streets.
Yeah, he was in the streets. I was like, Donovan, don't make me come looking for you with my shoe. Take my shoe off.
Well, I was with my mom. I have a mom-in-law.
Right. But yeah, it was very just no worries.
No. What I felt was like, you're home. This is
yes.
And no matter what family you are in, as Black Americans, we know our origin is there somewhere.
Right.
And we're there.
You were amongst family. That's how I felt.
Yeah.
You know, it was like, hey, you know, I did get irritated when some of the colonizers came around. And Jonelle says, them guys won't even beat Asian women. Our women is constantly being shown in degraded images. We must raise our views and images of Black queens and whoop ass and kill those who demean our women. Amen.
I'm with you, brother. But when
amen.
But when these women, I'm not making. I'm with you 100%. But those few women that the Cardi B's and they put that negative thing out, that's what's projected. I mean, Wait. Who's that told you this? You older women need to start talking on these younger women.
Well, I mean, that's just common knowledge. The older women need to start teaching the younger women, although it's kind of hard when the older women are having a hot girl summer too.
Right. In competition.
I mean, we got to be the example. I'm not saying old women. Am I old?
Well, you're only 28.
Right. We gotta start setting better examples, and not be afraid.
And correcting them.
Yeah, and correct them and say, hey, young girl, hey, sister, this is the, maybe you should go about it this way,
and
that
vice
way.
versa with the men.
Yeah,
Same thing with the men.
I've always said we're going to have to take them by force. Listen, this is not the way to do it. I know it ain't going to sound good what I'm saying to you, because you want to do your thing, but this is the optimal way to behave so we can get somewhere in life. Mm-hmm. So you're absolutely right. We got to start teaching each other. Okay. And so, Tay says, I created an entire directory for black-owned businesses. Yes, she did.
She did.
Riverside, Black Riverside County, and she says, I have almost 300 black-owned businesses in Riverside County.
Right
News to me.
Exactly.
And so I know where to go when I'm looking for a service or a project or something. I mean, that's awesome and amazing. And Tay, it's also amazing to see that you've gotten involved with the organization because they need great talent such as yourself. And so
I discovered her first.
Donovan discovered you first. Yeah, he got stakes to claim on all of us, huh?
I know talent when I see it.
Ike Turner